Hey, once again, welcome to the YouTube channel that is a home to you, a home for everyone. A YouTube channel where you will get updated with so many videos relating to what could awaken our consciousness. And today, through this YouTube channel, I bring to you 8 signs which would show that you are corrupt or you are likely to be corrupt. I repeat, 8 signs which would show that you are corrupt or you are likely to be corrupt. So many times we come across friends, we come across relatives who display these signs, and today it is time for you to take a step and begin to correct these relatives or these friends who would actually display these characteristics or signs of being corrupt or easily be corrupt by the next person. Number one, I would like to mention that the first sign that you should take note of, and please, before we move on, remember that this list is not exhaustive. This list is endless. You may still have other signs that you would consider, but for today, I want you to look at these 8 signs and see if they really ring a bell onto your memory or not. And I'm sure it shall always be able to tap on something that you may have come across with. Number one, it is advancing your name when you have done something in a group or with others. There are people that even if they do something with others, they always want to stand out alone and forget about those that have contributed or made that particular project or exercise a success. It is this type of people that I would label as the me, and always me, instead of them or we in particular. The next is writing your name on a list first. There are people that when they are requested to write a list and other people are around, they will always start with their own name instead of starting with names of those that they are helping to actually create this list. Some people would do this not because they would want to be brave or so, but it's because they would want to be the first one to benefit on that particular list. For example, if a request comes from somewhere and say we need 2 to 10 people to send us their names, and it's you that is entrusted to write this particular name for a specific benefit. If you write your name first, it means something is actually wrong with you. And I think it is time for you to correct that and begin to consider others before you. Number 3, it is misusing resources. And misusing resources, I want to look at it in 4 ways. The first one is food. Look at how your friend or a particular person make use of food or eats the food at places such as workshop facilities, at the parties, and so forth. There are people that the quantity of food they eat at home differs from what they eat when they're invited to a party or when they go for a workshop. In other words, they really eat considerably when they're at home compared to how they eat when they go for workshops or for a party. This simply shows that they eat in that way because they don't care about where the food is coming from, how the food was secured or so. What they do is just to eat simply because it's not them that have bought the food. Look at how they make use of the shower. There are friends you have been with, there are friends that I have been with. When we go for a workshop or for a trip, you come to a place where perhaps you are accommodated, you look at how your friend is making use of the shower, you'll really be surprised, because at the end of the day, you think of asking them, why are you using water like that? They will actually tell you that I have to use this water because I have paid for. That mentality is very deteriorating in a society. So it is good if we make use of water sparingly, the same way as we use it at home. It's the same way you should use it as a facility or wherever you are accommodated for a particular period of time. Because it's not about the money that you have paid, but it's because it is all about how you should use water and the way other people should as well use water. Water is not a resource to waste, but a resource to use sparingly. And then we talk about toilet papers in the same facilities. There are people who don't care how much toilet paper they use when they make use of the toilet, but then it's simply because it's not their money that has bought the toilet paper and whatever they use the toilet paper like there is no tomorrow, and such is not a good sign of a productive person. It is good if we look at it and correct this type of mentality. And fourthly, I want to look at how you leave your bed when you wake up. How do you leave your bed? There are people that just wake up and leave the bed. When you ask them, why are you doing this? They will tell you, there are people that are being paid for this. I mean, a bed is a basic thing where it needs to be prepared before you actually walk out of any room, because that actually determines how your day is going to be planned. If you just wake up and leave the bed like that, most people easily also going to experience a very disorganized day. So a bed does not matter whether the facility has people who are being paid for that or not, but a bed is something that you're supposed to make before you leave that room. That is being a productive and a patriotic person in every society that you find yourself. So that is how people misuse resources, and that is the point that we are busy talking about. The fourth point, or the fourth sign that would make you look corrupt or easily corrupt, is taking the most good looking piece of meat from a plate or from a pot, or maybe a piece of fish. There are people that they know they are eating with friends, or they are eating from the same plate with friends, but if they come first on that plate, they will make sure that they take the very good looking piece of meat. With this I mean, they will look at the piece that has more meat and leave out the piece that actually looks bony, and it's something that they wouldn't want to eat, but they wish the other person is supposed to eat. Such is a very bad mentality, and it can actually affect how you can be reliable before other people. And then we talk about the fifth point is owing someone and not knowing when to pay back. A person with such characteristic or such sign is very dangerous, and such people are killing small businesses, because whenever they ask for money, they don't know when to return. In fact, the funny part is some people come to you and ask, themselves will determine, I just want this amount and I'll return it back to you immediately when I get money, or maybe I'll give it to you on this specific day. This person actually says this simply because they want you to help them, but that's not what they mean. They just want to get hold of the money, and from there you begin to fight whenever you want to ask this particular money from them, which is not good, and it's something that needs to be corrected. And these people usually don't care about how much it is affecting you or so, but they just consider themselves, which is some kind of selfishness, which is not good to nature, but something that needs to be destroyed immediately when it is noticed from someone. The sixth point is or the sixth sign that makes you look corrupt or being able to easily be corrupt is relying on a supervisor or the presence of a supervisor before doing something good. There are people who don't know how to do anything good in the absence of a supervisor, a manager or the owner of a business. For as long as the owner of the business or a supervisor is not around, they do whatever or the way they feel like. They don't care how that affects their personal life or how that affects an organization, but they simply rely on the presence of a supervisor before they do something productive. Such people, we see them, such people, we know them at our workplaces. Please and please, if you want to continue associating yourself with such people, begin to remind them that what they do is not good and what they do should be stopped immediately, because you should be the change that you want to see wherever you find yourself. The seventh point is asking for asking for a token of anything. Let me make it maybe sound it like when you ask a person who's supposed to receive a service from your office, which is a public or private office, something to pay you. For example, people ask for a drink from somebody that received your service from an office which is not yours, but an office through which you're supposed to serve people. That behavior is a sign that you are corrupt, or you can easily be corrupt, because a service is supposed to be given to all the lawful recipients of that particular service. The same way it can be put by you assuring office bearers of something for having rendered you a service, which, in other words, at the end of the day, one day it will become that whoever does not afford that particular cool drink or drink will not benefit from this service. If they do, they'll benefit with a lot of struggle by abandoning them, by ignoring them, by attending to them whenever they feel like attending to them, but not within a required time frame. But then it will just make you feel like, since you did not pay, this is how you should suffer. So it is good if we try to unlearn such behavior and make sure that we treat all public and private offices as points of service delivery or points of service receiving. So let us not begin to make use of offices to make sure that we satisfy our pockets and so forth. The last and eighth point is the mentality of saying, they also ate, why must I not eat? Such is something that should not be welcomed in anyone's mentality. This mentality is very, very destructive. This mentality has destroyed a lot of organizations, and perhaps I should also say that this mentality has destroyed a lot of countries, especially in Africa. The mentality of saying those that were there ate and I should also eat is something that is not beneficial, and it does not benefit the next generation. So everybody should be organized and make sure that you serve the people wherever you are. So take note of these signs and watch out for any other signs. Watch out for any other people that are displaying these signs before you. Try to correct them, and we, at the end of the day, are going to change the societies where we find ourselves, the organizations where we were, that we work for. At our workplaces, various workplaces are going to begin to operate in the right direction and smoothly by changing everyone's mentality. Let us watch out these 8 signs which show that you are corrupt or you are likely to be corrupt. Thank you very much. This is Conscious Mind Training Institute, a YouTube channel that actually brings you all this good stuff. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your relatives or close friends so that you make them part of this YouTube channel. Let's grow it. Thank you.